did manage to get that rider off to the side. They told that rider to leave through the emergency exit. I heard them tell him multiple times, and look, that's how stubborn he is. He's decided to continue inside the bus lane. Good morning everyone, we're back on the road with SAICT. This is a busway enforcement operation on EDSA. This is Santolan. It's around 6:45 a.m. Already apprehended a couple of motorcycles. Typically motorcycles are the top violator of the EDSA busway. That is by statistics. I'm sure I've seen this rider's face before. It might not be his first time apprehended. I could be wrong, but he looks familiar. The enforcer asked the driver of this barangay ambulance if there's an emergency or if there's a patient, and he said no. He did hand over his license, but I've actually heard the enforcer ask for the ORCR multiple times now, and so far nothing has been shown. A lot of the vehicles they flagged down that are marked as ambulances here in the busway, to tell you the truth, a lot of them are not actually registered as ambulances, and the second thing is a lot of them have expired registrations. I'm not saying that's the case here, I'm just saying that it's really common. Looks like they are handing something over now, so we'll see how it plays out. And there you go, according to the enforcers, what they've handed over shows that the vehicle was last registered in 2016. Bear in mind we're in 2024 right now. I've seen a lot of people saying that they don't give way to emergency vehicles anymore because they always drive around with their emergency lights and emergency sirens turned on, even when there's not an emergency. And that was actually one of the issues that was brought up during an event between DOTR, DOH, LTO, and various emergency groups and other stakeholders. A lot of people were highlighting that people are becoming blind or deaf to these emergency lights, emergency sirens, because they are being overused and sometimes they are being misused. Now my personal advice would still be to always give way to an emergency vehicle, because you do not have any way to know whether it's a legitimate emergency, so you should assume that it isn't a legitimate. This rider just appeared from behind the bus, that's why he managed to get so far forward before anyone stopped him. They're going to ask him for his license. Once they get that, they'll ask him to pull forward to the opening. She'll try and get the license, and then she can move him forward. If she lets him go forward before getting the license and he drives away, big headache. You can do a show cause or whatever. That's the least ideal scenario. Just saw an empty taxi leave the bus lane. I didn't get it on camera, but I know someone else did. It's that one there. I was showing someone a different clip. I can see the enforcer already walking in to try and apprehend him, but the fact that he's gone all the way to the other side, look, now he's gone to the middle. Hopefully he won't make this too difficult for them. Okay, looks like he's compliant. Okay, thank you for at least making it easy. There was a rider a few days ago that put their passenger in massive danger again by running away, swerving all over the place. It's one thing if you want to kill yourself, but why do you have to kill your passenger? In fact, it wasn't that long ago that one of the MC taxis basically threw himself in front of a bus, right? And then the passenger got killed. Seems like the riders generally survive, but the passengers are always the ones to pay the price. Look, there's the rider. The enforcer's moving in now to try and pull him off to the side. Appears to be compliant at least. Well, look at the way the plate is mounted. Unreadable because it's facing the sky. Oh, in fact, it wouldn't mean anything anyway because it doesn't have a proper MB file number on it. So even if it was facing the right way, you can't trace it back to a vehicle. In fact, just to demonstrate it to you, I'll bring up random vehicles that have that exact same plate number, because it is not an actual plate number, it's just to guide you on registration and things like that. until your actual plate number is issued by LTO. The truth is that while you see a lot of stuff on the news about how there's crackdowns on people not using license plates, using improper plates, using concealed plates and things like that, most of the time there's absolutely no consequence, or a very, very minor penalty, if any. That's why a lot of people continue to do it. And every single day I see so many riders run away from them, and when you look at the plate, there's nothing there, or it says for registration, or it says 030103, something like that, which is just temporary to guide you on registration. It's not an actual plate number. You should have an MB file number there until you get your real plate from LTO. So that's the problem, right? How many hit and runs, how many accidents, how many riding in tandems, and they can never trace any of them because it's really, really easy to drive around without a plate, or to drive around with an incorrect plate. Looks like he's carrying quite a lot of stuff, so definitely limits his maneuverability. In fact, he's got tape wrapped around his rear wheel. Not exactly wrapped around, but kind of falling onto the rear wheel. Not sure what that vehicle is. I can't see any markings yet. It's got something at the top there, but look, it's all ripped away, so you can't really read it. It appears to have a black and white plate, so is it a private vehicle with blinkers? According to enforcers, the documents handed over by the driver say it's a private utility vehicle last registered 2021. But the markings suggest that it belongs to a barangay, potentially being used as a rescue unit, but whether that's the case, I'm not sure. It's super dark tints on the back, you can't see anything, really. But I did hear the enforcer ask, is there some kind of emergency? And the driver said no. Oh, she has managed to get there, or she has managed to get there. They did manage to get that rider off to the side. I noticed that even the passenger of that MC taxi just took a picture of the rider being ticketed. I don't know whether or not he's planning to report it through the app. Actually, someone I was talking to this morning told me that they made a booking for an MC taxi app, and it's supposed to be an NMAX with a certain plate number. So when it arrived, it's an Aerox with a different plate number, and then the rider told them that, oh, I upgraded my bike. I've had that before with cars as well on TMBS, where a different car arrived. It's really important that you report those things. Even a different driver, where they've said like, oh, my brother is usually the driver, but he's not feeling well, so I'm covering for him. You always have to report those things, because once you start letting people swap vehicles, swap drivers, the whole system's going to fall apart, right? They told that rider to leave through the emergency exit. I heard them tell him multiple times, and look, that's how stubborn he is. He's decided to continue inside the bus lane. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say, right? It's like every day there's another difficulty. He was meant to exit over there, just like every other rider and every other driver has done today. But nope, he decided to continue. Now in the past, what they've done in those cases is actually given the plate number to LTO and issued a show cause order. It's not that once you've been ticketed, you can just continue and do the same thing again and again without any consequence. I cannot guarantee that's what they're going to do in this case, but that's what they've done in previous cases.